Hi, welcome to Talking Balls, your Monday roundup of the High Peaks football results.
Hi, I'm Louise Bellicoso, this is Jason Chadwick.
Right, well, it's been a disappointing and, in some respects, controversial weekend, hasn't it,
definitely.
for the High Peak football teams. Buxton came unstuck at Boston in a difficult game, to say.
Definitely.
Controversial and, well, a couple of settings off there, including assistant manager Clive, so plenty to talk about there.
Definitely, yeah.
And, of course, New Mills have crashed out of the FA Vase.
Unfortunately.
And we've got interviews of both managers a little bit later on, so stay tuned for those.
We have, and I think you've had a busy weekend this weekend, didn't you go to 3 games on Saturday?
3 games Saturday afternoon.
So well, that's dedication for you, isn't it?
Only because there were early kick-offs in the Derbyshire Divisional semi-finals, but got to both semis and the Vase game, so that was good.
Excellent.
Right, so before we start on those, you better tell us about Buxton's battle at Boston.
I will, yeah. So long trip down to Lincolnshire for Buxton on Saturday, and unfortunately it must have been an even longer trip back because they lost 2-1, unfortunately. Buxton did start the better side, and they did go close through a couple of chances. I think Michael Towie and Kane Hanley, the new lads, had one of the chances. But Boston then got reduced to 10 men when Gareth Davies, who was a former Buxton player, got sent off after a bit of a tussle with Towie. And of course, as often is the case, they upped their game, and I think they pretty much dominated from then. They went ahead on 59 minutes after Buxton's a corner that just wasn't particularly well defended, and Reedy had something to say about that. He was pretty disappointed. And then Joe Wilcox did manage to pull one back for Buxton on 85 minutes. That was his second goal for the club. But then very, very late into injury time, I can't work out whether it's 6 or 9 minutes into injury time, there's different accounts, Boston scored their second goal. Very controversial circumstances. Reedy not impressed at all about that, so they took the 3 points. And
I believe he had words with the ref afterwards.
He did, yeah. He was really not impressed with a few decisions. There were 2 decisions that he was really not impressed with. One was the Clive Freeman sending off, and then there was another one. And he did go in and speak to the referee afterwards and say what he thinks, but I don't know whether that'll
we'll let him put that in his own words.
Any difference on that one. But of course, before the match even started, there was disappointment for Buxton because Gav Knight was out. He's actually in hospital at the moment with a bad infection in his leg, which sounds quite nasty. So we wish him all the best.
Yeah, I believe he's getting intravenous drugs.
I think Reedy said he was on a drip and he's on antibiotics and that. Right. So all the best to Gav. I hope he gets better soon. But of course Buxton can't dwell on that for too long because they're back in action again tomorrow night.
Frickley, isn't it?
Yeah, first game in 2 months up there, and now they've got 4 home games in a row, which not only should be good for the team, it's got to be good for the money as well.
Yes,
surely.
Absolutely. After all this time, right? So we better play that interview, haven't we, and see what John's got to say for himself. As you said, he's not too happy.
No, he's not.
A massive disappointment. Felt cheated. By officials, 2 major controversial incidents in the game where we worked our conkers off and put a sterling performance in, and I felt that officials made 2 very, very bad errors which cost us the game. However, I will say before I mention both these, we've got to learn to defend better than what we did because Tom Aegis' man got a free header, and then Scott Hartley came for the winning goal, and I don't think he needed to, and Greg Anderson would have just had a free header, and we possibly would have won the game. But the 2 incidents which were really, really disappointing, and the second one resulted in Clive Freeman getting sent off, which I went into the referee at the end of the game and told him exactly what I thought about him and his linesman. But the first incident happened on I think it was around about 78 minutes, something like that, when Kieran Luxon went clean through, beat his fullback, went into the box, and obviously he's only got a goal to beat, and the fullback tricked the lad. Looked like the referee had given what should have been a penalty, and incredibly he said that he thought Kieran died, which, and I spoke to the lad because I do know him really well. I said, just to clear things up, if he's died, then Ferdy went, oh John, he said, not only should he have had a penalty, he was clean through, so I took him, and I should have got sent off, and these are the things that really annoy you as a manager. But anyway, that's that one. linesman made the most incredible dive. It made Kieran Lugsden's look absolutely stupid, really. And the referee blew, and we thought, well, he's going to definitely give him a card like he did Kieran, because Kieran's wasn't a dive, and it definitely was. And incredibly, one thing happened, he gave them a free kick. The trainer came on the field, a young lady, 15 metres in, and we all know the situation then. She came off the field, and this number 7 went running into the box, and I was screaming and shouting to both the referee and the linesman, who totally ignored me, and they put a ball into the box, and like I say, he got a knock on the 7 to the number 6, I think it was, who eventually hit the ball, which hit the crossbar and went in. So very, very bitter. I have to say that I thought my boys battled really well. I know we had a little advantage because they had a guy sent off after half an hour, but if anything, I have to say this, and it happens loads of times in football. I don't think that does any favours. No. I thought we played better in the first half an hour, created 2 or 3 great chances. Kane Hanley a bit unlucky on a couple of occasions, and their keeper Tom Evans made some great saves, and Scott Hartley were a virtual spectator for probably most of the first half, but second half, the 10 men, to be fair, I thought they were on top, as I say, but the 2 goals in question, first one, poor defending from a set play. Tommy allowed his man to get a run on him, and then we battled hard, and Joe Wilcox scored from a goal mouth scramble. I think Michael Towie at the post, and with 4 minutes to go, you think, great, what a fantastic point, a team who's going to be one of the probably 3 teams who are going to win the league, and as I say, I can't speak any high of the players. They were magnificent, and as I say, I felt really cheated, and even though, as I say, I still say that the winning goal, it could have been avoided, because, as I say, we made a defensive mistake, but in shocking decisions by the referee and the linesman, and as I say, in a proper manner, I went in and told them exactly what I thought about them, and they accepted it because I was shouting and swearing. And then the linesman, as I say, I think he got Clyde sent off for nothing, because when they scored, he thought they'd won the Cup. I've never seen celebrations like it, which makes me feel good, because if that's how they feel about Buxton Football Club, then that's giving us a lot of credit, and
exactly,
the number 7 came straight across to Clive, and he put his face into Clive's face and shouting stuff and all this stuff, and basically had his foot on Clive's foot, and basically all Clive did was shoved him off, but the linesman saying that Clive kicked out and kicked him in the back of his leg, which I didn't see that, but then that caused probably about a 20-man fracas then, so but we'll have to wait and see. We know how these things happen. Don't matter what anybody says, if Clive's 100% right or 100% wrong, he'll get a suspension and a fine, which is quite sad, really. But anyway, that's my moan for the day, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so obviously disappointing, but what positives can you take from the performance?
Well, I can take a lot of positives, because like I say, we pushed an absolute quality side all the way. As I say, we did have an helping hand when the boy got sent off after half an hour because he'd elbowed Michael Towie. But as I say, I've been involved in games, plus and minus for you. When you get 10 men, sometimes they can show true grit and determination, and I have to say they did that. They really did. They put sterling work in, and as I say, if I'm being very honest, I think a draw would have a fair result, because we definitely were the better side the first half.